Hi, I'm so glad you stopped in. I am going to talk to you today about a shopping trip that I had recently. I was going out to eastern Colorado and I stopped at a little town called Limon, Colorado. And there is a delightful little quilt shop, the Quilted Heart. And I met a new friend or renewed an acquaintance that I had before. And Robin is the person that runs that shop with her daughter, Sela. And I have to say, I had a delightful visit. And then, of course, I had to do some shopping. And I can tell you that her shop is adorable. She carries wonderful fabrics, a lot of Riley Blake, and I found Jason Yenter fabrics. I've been looking for those fabrics for quite some time, and I came across a large selection of those. She has batiks, she has cottons, she has a wonderful selection of things. And I got so excited, I have to show you what I bought and give you some ideas of what I'm going to turn it into. So let's head over to my workspace and I'll show you what I've got. So right here is a beautiful palette, and these are Jason Yenter fabrics. And the fabric line is called Dit Dot. And I don't know if you can see it, but the colors are a little bit mottled. There's a lot of movement just within the color base, but inside of all of that, there's some graphic detail in there, and it's called Dit Dot. And I can tell you that I just love this. It gives depth and movement to the fabrics and it's all just one piece of fabric without it having to be an ombre or anything else. I wanted to have an arrangement of colors that I just thought were just too good to pass up. And on top of that, that's not all. Sort of like the let's make a deal or whatever. And that's not all. I found a border fabric. It is also Jason Yenter, and all of these colors that are in this border are inside of this palette that I collected here. The colors are rich, and there's even lovely movement within all of the different colors here, and they pick it up in different manners on the dit dot. What is really neat about this fabric, as it is, I said it's a border fabric. There are two complete borders on each half. So you get four borders when you unfold the whole thing. This light blue is the beginning of the border with a darker line in it, and then all of the color. And then there's more light blue, dark blue, and then the color. And then we have the fold with more light blue, dark blue, and more of the flowers. I thought that was fabulous. And unfortunately, girls, I bought everything that was on the bolt, but I know you can find it in more than one place. And it is called Summer Breeze. Um, let's take a look and see what that says in there. Summer Breeze from In the Beginning Fabrics. And it is a Jason Yenter. I believe that that is exactly what it is. I don't see Jason Yenter on that, but it's definitely in here. And they're all together, but it's a lovely, lovely piece of fabric. I could not resist it because I know that I'm going to be using it over and over again. You might ask me, well, what in the world will you do? And how do you know how much to buy? Well, I bought what I thought I would need in order to accomplish a couple different projects. The first one that I think I'm going to make out of this is called sun catchers, and I'll have a class on this coming up soon. It's a class you can purchase on YouTube, and it's a delightful little pattern. And what is really sweet about the whole thing is that you get enough papers to make three different little table toppers, which are 30 inches square. Each one of them is 30 inches square. Well, when you have fabrics that are as sweet as these, all you need is a good a background that will blend with all of them. And right now, that's my biggest dilemma is to find the background that's going to look really awesome with all of them. But that's one of those um, projects that I'm going to be making with this fabric. It doesn't take a lot, and so you make really good use of a lot of these different things. Another one that I'm going to make is a fractured paint box, and you can do it in the white with a white background, which I've already done, and that you'll see that at another time. But I thought I'd like to make one with black and make it look like stained glass, which is very much what this one does. Now you can't see this, and it is a Kona Bay, but it has what looks like waves in it, waves and dots, little like tiny dots, not geometric dots. But I thought how great that movement would be because in the lines here of the sashing and in between the colors, you'll have you'll see this. And the movement that you'll get with the curves and the swirls with the geometric dots and blotches, I think would make a great, stunning quilt. And this will also be another YouTube video class that I will have available for sale. But I got so excited about the fabric, I wanted to share it with you. So there's one more that I think would be particularly awesome with either a black background or a white, but is this braided table runner. And this uses charm squares, 5-inch squares. So obviously I will have enough out of this to do both of those projects and have 5-inch squares left over. And I don't think you could ask for anything better. And depending on if you want to have it the braids touching or the braids separated by sashing, that's available to you. And I just think that that's a really awesome thing. So that in itself is a really great, great way to use these fabrics. Um, you're kind of getting a picture of how my brain works, but I thought, you know, who doesn't like to see fabrics, somebody else's stash and collection, and figure out how they go about looking into different things. So I'm going to put those aside and I'm going to bring something else to the front. So, and maybe not everything. I'll put those back out. So we'll take that away. We'll lay these back out. I found panels. And I have to say, I think they're just the sweetest little things. And here we go. This is a panel. And I don't know if you can see it very well. I hope you can. But it's got a lovely little, it looks like watercolor painting, and there's a bouquet of flowers in a mason jar. And then the second little panel that's on this uh, cut is of um, gardening boots, again with flowers. I think that's just so sweet, and again it looks like watercolors. And then let's see if I can do this. This is called Boots and Blooms by Sillier Than Sally for P&B Textiles. And hopefully you can see all that information. And if not, I'll still put it down in the comments below. But the colors I thought were just so soft and inviting. And what goes along with this is another panel. Well, it's not actually panel, it's a yardage, but it has the same colors in it. Very soft and beautiful. Excuse my camera as I adjust that back. So it's very soft. It has a lovely border, and then this is a into the above that uh, wide border, and that is at both edges of the selvage. So this is the first one, and it goes across, and then the second has the same. So it's on both ends of the fabric, but the body of the fabric is a lovely creamy ivory color with really sweet little motifs in it, like butterflies and bumblebees and petals that are blowing off of the flowers. And there are little splotches of color like that look like paint drops from the watercolors that as someone was painting the canvas got got little water drops with paint in it, and it's just an adorable print. So I thought, well, you can't go wrong. This is, let me see if I can find it. This is again, um, it's yardage. It's called Boots and Blooms. Let's see if I get this under here. Boots and Blooms by Sillier Than Sally. And it's P&B or P&B Textiles. That's right. But and again, I'll put that in the comments below so you can get an idea of what that is if you like to see that. I'll also include the contact information for where I bought this so that you can go there and buy something yourself. But you know what I think is really awesome is that those dit dots, all that palette of that dit dots looks really amazing with all of these watercolor panels and the yardage. So my guess is that there's going to be some of those going together, whatever I can do with that. And the best way that I think that it would be to accent the panel and incorporate some of this along with some of this is to use a pattern book that it's also produced by Quiltworks. It's called Windy Day, and it has a high gloss on that on the cover. So I'm sorry for the glare, but I'm trying to make it so you can see everything that it says. But it's Windy Day. It's a booklet, and it shows inside how to use. It gives you instructions and uh, the numbers of the charm element packs that go into making these. And I thought, well, to make my panel and give it some interest and to accent what I've already got going on, that I would pick something out of here and use some charm elements to go along with it to bring in some of these fabrics to do this. Now again, I have to take this out of the plastic so you can have a better idea of what I'm talking about. But this is Charm Element Pack 23. There you go. Element Pack 23. And in this, you get the papers and the instructions on how to put together a series of these stars. Well, if I add some of these stars with some of these colors to that panel, I get my own individual and personal design on a panel. There are other Charm Element packs, which I think are just fabulous as well. There's Charm Element Pack 1, and in it you get enough papers to make six, uh, 16 of these little um, stars, which compass rose stars. It takes four of these to make a complete star. But there's those, and then there's flying geese here. Um, so there's Charm Element 23, Charm Element Pack 1. Number 2 is all flying geese, which can go all the way around. And if I wanted a different star, I have Charm Element Pack number 9, which does what I call Ohio star. It's a small 8-pointed star, very simple and quick to make and darling. Or there's another one, which is Charm Element Pack 24, and these are just blocks, and they're a wavy square. You can see the lines that go with them, and what helps them be wavy is a wave element ruler, which is like this. So these are some of the ways that I've come up with ideas to make things. We're going to head back to the main camera now. That's how my brain works. I look at things and I begin to get really excited about what I see. I don't always have the pattern with me, but if I buy a yard or 2 yards or 3 yards or whatever my budget will allow, I can always find ways to use it and use it in multiple places. I'm not afraid to buy fabric when I see it because I know that I can incorporate it into a lot of different things. Now, when I'm making a pattern like either of the two that are in the background behind me, I like to have a specific goal in mind and know what I'm going to buy. But sometimes I travel, and if I get the opportunity to stop at a quilt shop, I go in and I see what they've got. I don't worry that I don't have a perfect match. A lot of times I think that if I have a range of colors out of the same palette, meaning the same collection, then I'm going to be fine. I find that across the board, we as quilters have a palette that we're drawn to, and we can find colors that go together well. It may not be what we think at the time, but generally, if you look at your stash, you're going to find that you gravitate towards certain colors, towards certain palettes, and you have a really good sense of your own colorways. So I'm not afraid, and you shouldn't either be afraid of picking up yardage when you don't have a particular pattern in mind. It's okay because you will find something to do with it. Um, I just gave you an example of what I see when I'm looking at colors and what I find to be important when I go shopping. Um, I also find it to be very helpful and good business to promote people that I find that are have a great shop, have a great customer service, and have a really good range of material to fabric lines and things like that. Their notions, their patterns, their fabric lines. Um, I think if we don't point out those things to the people that know us and share what we learn and where we go, then we're not serving our quilting community to our fullest capability. But more than anything, I wanted to share with you what I found at the Quilted Heart in Limon, Colorado. Um, Contact information will be in the comments below. Give Robin a call. Stop in and see her as you pass through Lyman. It's on Main Street and easy to find, as well as her online shopping that is available. Her website is great. You can move through that at ease. And I'm having a really good time um, showing you my adventure in shopping in Lyman, Colorado. Until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day and lots of good fortune and good luck with your quilting and piecing endeavors. And until then, let your bobbin never be empty, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.